I told him, I tell him face to face, I've said it on the show, he went too far left for me often. But it is encouraging to see that in at least three places I can think of, he has moved it back to the center. But he's got a long way to go if he wants to do that. You know, relaunch it, rebrand it. But it would have to be somebody who is unapologetic about calling them out. People have lost faith in the Democratic Party for very good reasons. You know, you're the only one I hear who doesn't look like he cares what the other Democrats will say.
Instead, the sharp-tongued host Bill Maher once again stepped into the spotlight, delivering a fiery critique of Democratic Party figures and exposing what he sees as their failure to learn from past defeats. It wasn't just commentary, it was a direct challenge, loaded with frustration and sharp observations. He set the tone immediately, questioning why major political figures consistently avoid appearing on his show despite repeated invitations.
Oh, he's an actor, a comedian, a producer, a writer, and host of the hit HBO political talk show, Real Time, with Bill Maher. The one and only Bill Maher is with me right now. What's going on, Big Time? How are you, sir? How's everything?
I'm not an actor.
Well,
Don't ever call me an actor.
I apologize.
I'm the opposite of an actor, like you. Actors are avoiding the truth and playing parts. We're real and telling what's real.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate I correct myself. Thank you for the reminder. First of all,
I'm just messing with you.
I know.
According to Bill Maher, despite years of openly supporting Democrats through his platform, influence, and even financial backing, the party has largely kept its distance. He pointed out that high-profile figures like Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton have never accepted invitations to appear. In his view, this reluctance signals something deeper, an unwillingness to face unscripted conversations or defend positions outside carefully controlled environments.
I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. It's the best political show on television. I don't care what anybody says. But I will ask you this. When you look at Trump and some of the things that he says, what are you more concerned about in this day and age, Bill? Is it how the right feeds off of what he says, or is it how the left reacts to what he says? What has you more concerned at this particular moment in time as we just purview the landscape, look at our country and the state of affairs that's going on around here?
Well, I love it that you always, like what you were just saying before I came on about free speech, and you said, well, you know, let's be honest, the left sort of courted this a little bit because they weren't exactly champions of free speech. So you always have to look at that. I mean, I know that the woke people don't like it that I do that, and maybe they don't like it that you do it either, but that is the reality. And I think we should all do it a lot more, is just be honest about both sides.
Maher contrasted this behavior with Republicans, arguing that they tend to show up, engage, and take criticism head-on. Whether their arguments land well or not, he emphasized that they participate in open debate instead of avoiding it. That willingness, he suggested, reflects a level of resilience and accountability that he believes is increasingly missing on the Democratic side.
Well, the Democrats, the reason why, you know, I'm taking you a little more seriously for this is because the Democrats definitely need an outsider. I mean, I'm going to give you a little preview of something I'm working on that'll be on our show one of these weeks at the end as an editorial. Is, to me, the Democratic Party is a ghost brand. You know what a ghost brand is? It's like Sears or...
From there, Bill Maher widened the critique, targeting what he sees as a broader issue within the party itself. He described a political culture that bends too easily to pressure, prioritizing appeasement over principle. In his view, the Democratic Party has drifted into a pattern of reacting to its most vocal factions rather than leading with clarity and conviction.
Company, Abercrombie and Fitch, but they've really fallen on hard times.
Yeah.
But they've been around for a long time, so there is value in it's an asset, right? Because there are still people who know of the company, and if you could have somebody take it over, who's not sentimental about that company and, you know, relaunch it, rebrand it. But it would have to be somebody who is unapologetic about calling them out. People have lost faith in the Democratic Party for very good reasons. You know...
He also pointed to a growing disconnect between the party and its moderate base. Many longtime Democrats, he argued, now feel alienated by what they perceive as an overemphasis on far-left ideology. Instead of addressing these concerns directly, the party often avoids confrontation, creating an environment where hesitation replaces leadership and fear of backlash overrides honest debate.
I really don't.
Right,
I
know.
don't give a damn what they say. I really don't.
I know. And it's somebody, I don't either. I'm right where you are. We're very close on all these things. And I think somebody with that kind of abandon is the only person who is going to win back former Democratic voters who have switched over.
But you also have faith in California Governor Gavin Newsom, did you not?
Taking the argument further, Bill Maher warned about the risks of elevating candidates aligned with far-left economic policies. He suggested that figures promoting strong socialist ideas might energize younger voters but could struggle to appeal to broader demographics like millennials, Gen X, and baby boomers, who still dominate voter turnout. The concern, as he framed it, is less about ideology alone and more about electability.
He's not exactly what I'm describing now.
Right.
I think he'd be a great candidate. He has shown in recent months the ability also to move to the center. He would have to do it a lot more. But as a candidate, he's, he looks great. Great speaker, very forceful, can be mean, which is really important, and he can do it. He also has the backing, or certainly should, of where the energy is in the Democratic Party, the far left, because, he's been out front on a lot of very liberal issues, which I think is great. Gay marriage here in California and stuff like that. Pollution, all sorts of stuff that we believe in. But, he does have a long trail.
He described such political movements as tapping into frustration without offering practical solutions. Instead of resolving systemic issues, he argued, they often amplify anger and division. To Maher, this approach prioritizes emotional appeal over effective governance, leaving real problems unresolved while political rhetoric intensifies.
I tell him face to face, I've said it on the show, he went too far left for me often. But it is encouraging to see that in at least 3 places I can think of, he has moved it back to the center. But he's got a long way to go if he wants to do that.
Do you think a far lefty can win a national election in this day?
Expanding on economic systems, Bill Maher criticized socialism as historically ineffective, arguing that while capitalism has flaws, it still provides opportunities for growth, innovation, and personal advancement. In contrast, he claimed that socialist systems tend to centralize power and limit individual success, ultimately producing stagnation rather than equality.
Like AOC?
Yes. I'm just whether it's what you said about Newsom, whether it's an AOC. I mean, do you think somebody like that can win a general election for the presidency of the United States in this day and age? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I mean, that's, anything is possible, and possibly it would excite a certain group of people who have not voted. What if 80% of Gen Z voted? Could then a Mondami-like candidate win? I guess so, but I'm not expecting that to happen, and I don't think it's the smart bet for the Democrats. There was an article in the Atlantic this week about, the Democratic leadership keeps saying the Democrats should change course.
He also addressed what he sees as a recurring mindset among certain political groups, the tendency to dismiss opposing viewpoints outright. According to Maher, labeling critics as uninformed or morally inferior creates a dangerous blind spot. This attitude, he argued, prevents meaningful dialogue and leads to underestimating political opponents.
Saying the Democrats should change course, away from the far left, but they're not doing it.
Right.
They should all read that article.
And to me, if they're not doing it, they're not paying attention to what's going to win. They just want to vent. I'm listening to Jasmine Crockett. I'm like, that verbiage ain't going to work. AOC could win the Senate seat and take it from Chuck Schumer in New York City, but that's not going to win a general election. So Mondani might win the mayor's seat in New York City, and Trump and his acolytes may be scared to death that it's going to permeate throughout the country because of what happened in Minnesota, what's happening in New York City, what potentially could happen in California. But that's not the entire country. So for me, I'm very, very worried about the left.
Throughout his remarks, Bill Maher returned to a central theme, the importance of learning from history and adapting to political reality. He warned that ignoring past failures, clinging to ideological extremes, and prioritizing image over substance could cost the party not just elections, but long-term credibility with voters.